Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a detailed technical analysis of the XMR/USDT crypto pair, specifically looking at the data as of June 4th, 2025. If you're trading Monero against Tether or just curious about where this pair might be headed, stick around because we've got a lot to unpack here. Let's get started. We're looking at the daily chart for XMR/USDT, and the most recent closing price on June 4th, 2025, is $333.94. Over the past year, this pair has seen some significant movement, with prices ranging from a low of $134.17 on July 5th, 2024, to a high of $419.99 on May 26, 2025. However, the current price reflects a notable decline of about 15.49% from its recent peak, as indicated by the rate of change over 14 days, which stands at minus 15.49%. This suggests that XMR/USDT has been under some selling pressure lately, and we need to dig deeper to understand the potential direction. First, let's talk about the moving averages, which give us a sense of the overall trend. The 5-day simple moving average is at $342.07, just above the current price, while the 5-day exponential moving average is slightly higher at $342.93. This indicates a short-term bearish bias since the price is trading below these levels. Looking at longer periods, the 10-day SMA is at $349.48, and the 20-day SMA is at $359.56, both significantly above the current price, reinforcing the bearish sentiment in the short to medium term. However, when we zoom out to the 200-day SMA, which is at $243.56, we see that the price is still well above this long-term average, suggesting that the broader uptrend over the past year remains intact despite the recent pullback. Now, let's check the momentum indicators to gauge the strength of this move. The 14-day Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is at 47.88, which places XMR/USDT in neutral territory. It's not overbought, nor is it oversold, so there's no extreme momentum in either direction right now. However, the Williams percenter over 14 days is at minus 81.11, which is very close to the oversold threshold of minus 80. This could hint at a potential bounce in the near term if buying pressure picks up. The 14-day Money Flow Index, or MFI, is at 31.77, which is on the lower side and suggests that there might be some accumulation happening despite the price decline. This divergence between price and MFI could be a bullish signal for contrarian traders. Let's move on to the MACD, which is a great tool for spotting trend changes. The MACD line is at 8.20, while the signal line is at 16.21, giving us a MACD histogram of minus 8.01. This negative histogram value indicates that bearish momentum is currently dominating, as the MACD line has crossed below the signal line. This crossover often signals a potential continuation of the downtrend, so traders should be cautious until we see a reversal in this indicator. Next, we'll look at the Bollinger Bands to assess volatility and potential price targets. The 20-day Bollinger Band middle line is at $359.56, matching the 20-day SMA, while the upper band is at $416.78, and the lower band is at $302.33. The current price of $333.94 is closer to the lower band, which suggests that XMR/USDT might be approaching a support zone. If the price breaks below this lower band, we could see further downside, but if it holds and bounces, it might signal a reversal back toward the middle or upper band. Volatility is another key factor, and the 14-day average true range, or ATR, is at 23.51. This means the pair has been seeing daily price swings of about $23.51 on average, which is quite significant and reflects the recent choppy market conditions. The normalized ATR, which is the ATR as a percentage of the current price, is at 7.04%, indicating that volatility is relatively high compared to the price level. Traders should factor this into their risk management, as larger swings could lead to quick profits or losses. Let's also check the stochastic oscillators for more insight into potential reversals. The 5-day stochastic percent K is at 56.79, and the 5-day stochastic percent D is at 58.24. both showing a slight downward trajectory. However, the 15-day stochastic %K is at 26.55, and the %D is at 23.92, which are much lower and closer to oversold levels. This suggests that the pair might be nearing a point where buyers could step in, especially if we see a bullish crossover in the stochastic lines. The Arun indicator gives us a sense of trend strength and direction. The Arun down is at 64, while the Arun up is at 0, resulting in an Arun oscillator value of -35.71. This strongly bearish reading indicates that the recent lows are more significant than the highs, confirming the short-term downtrend. However, the 14-day ADX is at 44.84, which shows that the trend, whether up or down, has been relatively strong. Since the ADX doesn't indicate direction, we combine it with the Arun and see that the bears are currently in control. The Kraken oscillator, which measures accumulation and distribution, is at -680.59, a negative value that suggests selling pressure has been dominant. This aligns with the recent price decline and indicates that volume has been heavier on the downside. However, the on-balance volume, or OBV, is at 418,084, which is a cumulative measure of volume. While it's down slightly from its recent highs, it's not showing a drastic drop, suggesting that the selling might not be as aggressive as the price action implies. Finally, let's talk about potential support and resistance zones using the parabolic SAR and some key levels. The PSER is at $387.82, which is well above the current price, confirming the bearish trend. As long as the price stays below the PSER, the downtrend is likely to continue. On the downside, the Bollinger Band lower line at $302.33 could act as a support level. And if that breaks, the next major support might be around the 100-day SMA at $279.35. On the upside, resistance is likely around the 10-day SMA at $349.48. And if the price can break above that, the 20-day SMA at $359.56 becomes the next target. To sum things up, XMR/USDT is currently in a short-term downtrend as of June 4, 2025, with the price at $333.94, showing bearish momentum after a 15.49% decline over the past 14 days. Indicators like the MACD, Arun, and PSER confirm this bearish bias, while the RSI and stochastic suggest that the pair might be nearing oversold conditions, potentially setting up for a bounce. The broader trend, however, remains bullish above the 200-day SMA at $243.56, so long-term holders might see this as a dip to buy, while short-term traders should watch for confirmation of a reversal before jumping in. Volatility is high, so manage your risk accordingly, and keep an eye on key levels like $302.33 on the downside and $349.48 on the upside. That's it for today's analysis of XMR/USDT. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next update. Let me know in the comments what you think about Monero's price action, and if there's another crypto pair you'd like us to analyze. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.